welcome. My name is Matthew, and today I have for you a tarot card reading. This is going to be a general energy reading. Now, I've set the intention for this to be for the sign, the zodiac sign of Virgo. However, quick disclaimer that if you felt drawn to click on this video for whatever reason, there may be a message in here for you regardless of what your primary zodiac sign are. Okay. So, the way I'm going to do this card reading today, I'm going to start with the Animal Spirit Oracle deck. I'm going to pull one Animal Spirit card, and then I'm going to read to you from the little book about it. I don't have to read from the book, but I just really like reading out loud, so that's what we're going to do. And then I will pull some tarot cards and sort of flesh out what is the whole message for you here today. So, without further ado, let's ask, what is the message here for the viewers today? What is the message today for this Virgo energy? Okay, you have snake. This one actually came out recently in a previous reading I did, but anyway, let's see. So, here it says, guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine, in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you were to wake it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. When in balance, prosperous, creative, and charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things. Bring into balance, Kundalini yoga or meditation. Okay. So, Virgo, yes, dear viewer, there's some message here for you about awakening your full potential. Awakening your full potential. All right, let's see. Let's ask, what is the full message today? What is the storyline? Let's see. Let's pull some cards from this deck first. Usually I like to pull most, if not all, of the cards out before I start interpreting, so thank you for your patience while I do this shuffling process. Okay, we have projections first. That's the Seven of Cups. What else? Okay, we have the Outsider. And the candle went out. Ooh. Okay. We're going to do something about that. Hold on one second. I'm going to pause this recording. Okay. Yeah, so we have these two here on the table. So you know what? I think I will take them this time. And what do we have? Trust and possibilities. Ooh, trust the possibilities. Trust the possibilities of your untapped potential. Ooh, there's something there. See, and then there's also some meaning to the fact that the candle went out right in that moment as well. That's all right. Because there's also here something to do with the limiting beliefs kind of going on. That's kind of, I see often this outsider card, like some type of inner child wounding patterns, stuff like that. And I may at the end pull one more here, but let's see. Hold on. Actually, first I want to pull out clarifying cards on the bottom row. So let me make sure that there's space in the screen. And I'm going to ask first to clarify this snake card. Let's clarify the snake, please. Oh, no. Well, should I take this one? I don't know that I should, but well, I think I have to because it fell, but it was kind of messy. But maybe that's part of the thing. Okay, you have five of wands. Oh, by the way, if I didn't say this, so you have the outsider here. The outsider's 5 of pentacles. Trust would be, oh, what is it? Is it page? Maybe the page of cups. Possibly the knight, maybe I think it's the page though, and then 2 of possibilities is 2 of wands. Okay, so clarify the projections. Clarify the projections card. Almost, not quite. Clarify the projections card. Not quite. Yes, okay. We got Knight of Pentacles, alright. Let's see. Let's clarify the outsider next. What is the outsider here? Clarify the outsider, please. Okay, we have 6 of wands. Okay, let's clarify the trust card next. Clarify the trust card. Oh, okay. Got 2. Guess I have to take the 2 of them, but then can I scooch this a little bit over? Nice. 9. Then we got 8 of pentacles and 8 of wands. Okay. Yes. I see. 8, 8. All right, and then clarify possibilities, please. Clarify possibilities. All right. Queen of Wands. Okay. All right. We still have room for one more, but I will save that for the end. And I'm going to start telling you what I'm seeing here so far. I'll start explaining what all these cards mean. Okay. Thank you for your patience. So, well, we already explained the snake card. So this is kind of the untapped potential within you that lies dormant, okay? Very few of us in this world are truly, really living like 100% of our potential. So just some food for thought there. Now, interestingly, you got it clarified with the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is kind of like tension and conflict. Tension and conflict. Now, there could be, this actually could manifest externally or internally, like internal conflict, internal tension, an internal, like, should, bunch of shoulds and should nots, or like all of that kind of thing. But, another message, like, actually, and it's very well maybe both internal and external conflict, but another message here with the is interesting because when you really do start to awaken your full potential, it makes other people quite uncomfortable. They're going to start to react. It starts to ruffle some people's feathers, to be honest, when you start awakening this strong potential energy within yourself. One terminology you might hear might be kundalini, but you don't have to use that term. We can just speak right now about your life force energy in general, or your potential, your full potential as a human being here. And really, like, if you awaken that full potential within yourself, especially if you've kind of been laying dormant and you've been playing small with yourself for a while, like the current like social context in which you're embedded, you're sort of disrupting other people's like expectations of you when you start to be moving and shaking, if you know what I mean. So that can cause a bit of conflict there as well. Yeah. So you should be perhaps brace yourself for that. That that other people might um, not react so kindly at first, or at least the people who know you already well and have you um, pegged as a certain role in their mind, in their life, in their little world. Okay. Um, yeah. So there's that. Now then, here you have the projections. Projections. Hmm. So again, this can be playing out internally or externally. Now, since I guess I'll explain the external aspect first, which because we were just talking about other people's mm, discomfort or their resistance to you changing yourself, even if it's really positive changes, the reactions, the initial reactions might not be so positive, because they have a certain view of how you are or how you should be, and they kind of want you to stay in that box, I suppose. It's something that they're projecting onto you. And what we have here with the Knight of Pentacles is a slow journey from point A to point B. It's a very tangible journey, but it's a very slow journey. So in this context, as a clarifying card, what I'm getting is that the process of those projections falling away may be slow, or maybe like a slow adjustment process for the people who know you the best or are closest to you, or around you on a daily basis, or whatever the case may be, the details of your situation, I don't know, but you fill it in, you apply the message to your own life. You have to use your own discernment here. Okay. But that the process of them kind of dropping their projections of you or their expectations of you, that kind of thing, and starting to see you for who you really are and accept you for that. Like, once you start to, really like live up to your full potential here, that might be a little bit of a slow process. But the nice thing, though, is the message of the Knight of Pentacles is that of all the knights in the tarot, it's the one that's kind of the most guaranteed to reach its destination, because the other ones tend to sometimes get distracted along their journey. They don't even necessarily reach the final destination that they originally set out for. So yeah. Now, a different message entirely along a different vein here is our own capacity for making projections onto the mirror of reality. Now, this one might be a little bit trickier to hear, a little bit harder to swallow, but please bear with me, please stick with me here, because it's an important bit of wisdom, which is that it's really important that you are seeing reality clearly for what it is, because there's a lot of like things in life that on the surface may appear to be one thing, especially if you are coming at it, looking at it with your own set of expectations or hopes or dreams or fears or this kind of thing. You might not actually see a person, place, thing, situation for its true essence, for its true nature, for what it really is. You might project onto it what you want it to be. And we all have this tendency and capacity. Some people much more than, much more extreme ways, but we all do this in some kind or degree. And it's a bit of like an unlearning process here, or a little bit of like a how to really sort of see things clearly. And then, and part of that is just like learning to come to terms with the reality, the truth of reality as it is in this present moment, this ever-changing present moment. Come to terms with the reality as it is. Learn to work with your current reality moment as it is, and not how you wish it to be. So you're not trying to change the moment. You're not trying to ever change the reality, but you're just working with it as it's presenting itself to you, as it's sort of unfolding itself to you in this kind of kaleidoscopic, ever-changing way. You just work with it in each moment, without trying to shape or mold it into the moment of reality or any other people or situations, without trying to mold them and shape them into your vision of things, just to match like what your projections are. Because you don't like that when it's done to you, right? It's a lot easier to see when someone else is doing that to you and you don't like that. But what about those times when you're doing that to the mirror? Then what? Hey, yeah. It's a little trickier to learn that half of it, but yeah. Anyhow, something about like in order to like really like maximize your full potential and efficacy and creative, juice in this reality, to manifest your full potential, you have to kind of drop that tendency, learn how to identify and to drop those tendencies towards projecting onto things, your vision, and then not seeing clearly the reality. Because how can you really make the most of your potential if you're not working with the truth of reality as it is in the present moment? Like that, there's just no way. Like you're not even making full use of the moment or the resources available to you if you're not even able to see them clearly for their true nature, right? So there's something kind of important there. And then yeah. And then so where does that come from in us? So that we're going to tie in here with the tie that in here with this next card, which is the outsider, the Five of Pentacles. So this talks about inner child wounding. So this is kind of like the experiences of your past. How do the experiences of your past shape your identity? Because the way that you identify with things can actually be the number one blockage from limiting your full potential to manifest. So you do see the colors here and the colors here, the kind of beautiful. Give me a moment to lift the cards off the table. So you see the pastel colors here. It's kind of these blues, greens, a little bit of purple here. It's this whole spectrum here on this part of the card. So it's kind of, and then you see the snake kind of holding this in here, and the gate between the boy and his potential. The snake sort of keeping this potential confined here. So it's the same sort of idea at its essence being. So interestingly, the gate here actually, it's not even locked. If you look real closely at this card, the padlock keeping the chains around the gate, is actually unlocked. And if the boy were to just like sort of take a step back and look at the situation objectively, hey, look objectively, hey, not don't be projecting onto it. See, because he's not he's falling for the apparent illusion on the surface of reality. He's sort of projecting this idea onto the thing that, oh, this is a locked gate, I can't go through here. But if he were to take a step back and look at it clearly, he would see that actually the gate is unlocked all along, and all he has to do is take the lock off, unwrap the chain here, open the gate, and just walk through. And it's actually quite simple. But he's just not able to even see that because he's kind of too stuck in the idea, projecting the idea on here that there's a locked gate. Now, this kind of comes from like our past woundings. This could be from childhood or whatever, just any kind of your adulthood too as well, just whatever, any previous life experiences you've had in your past that have hurt you in some way and caused you to develop certain clingings or aversions in this life here that actually sort of then limit your potential here. So this could be a harsh one to say, but it's for many true, is victim mentality here, or thinking that somehow, just, or life is, against you in some way, or your potential is limited in some way because this or that thing has happened to you in the past, and oh, how terrible it was. And I'm not saying the things that have happened to you weren't perhaps terrible, but what I am saying to you is that you don't have to let anything that's ever happened to you in the past define you as a person or limit you. You don't have to keep hold of those things as a part of your identity. Actually, you can sort of just learn how to drop those limitations entirely. What I said before, this is like limiting beliefs. Now, it's not, that the things that the things that happened to you, like, were very real and they certainly affected and shaped you. But you can you can alchemize those things into wisdom and completely, neutralize the factor of how that they limit you. And actually, you have a very good omen here because you have the Six of Wands, which is a card of like success and victory. So it's like for you, the message here is like that will be the moment when you sort of start to tap into and unlock your full potential. It's like this is predicting here that actually you really like either you already have at the time of reading or listening to this reading, you already have, or you're kind of on the precipice and you can figure it out pretty soon. Or, well, I don't know, however long it takes you to get to this, this Knight of Pentacles journey can be potentially slow. So for you to learn how to actually fully drop all your projections and your limiting beliefs, like that might be a bit slow, but potentially not. Like, it's just, but the thing with the Knight of Pentacles, it's a step by step by step journey. But anyway, point is, there's a guaranteed success here. Like you kind of are guaranteed to be able to like unwrap all this, open the gate, step through, and manifest your full potential. Okay. So that's actually a really positive message. It's just like, if you're still like, oh, woe is me, this and that happened and it was terrible and that's why I'm limited right now and I can't manifest my full potential. If you're still in that kind of state of mind, then it's going to be really uncomfortable to hear this message that like actually the power is fully within your hands. All you have to do is step back, look a little bit more objectively at the situations, and realize you don't even have to like carry those things forward as a part of your identity and therefore like something which is limiting you. You can just let all that go. Yeah. And what happens when you let all that go? You're falling free. You're free fall. You're in free fall. And you can kind of just, again, the colors here. So I love how when the colors of the cards blend in. So now we're seeing like the pink and the blue, and there's this like pink and blue here. So you can kind of just like free fall into that full potential here, to the manifestation of your full potential. And you can kind of trust the process, okay? You could trust the process. And what is the process for you? The process for you is going to start to look like look like this 8-8 energy here, 8-8. The 2, 8-8, 2 eights. Actually, that's cool how they lined up because this is a double-sided cards, right? So like on this side of the card, the 8 is on here. This, the left-hand corner and left-hand corner, but you got it here in such a way that the right-hand corner and the left-hand corner are aligned, and it's actually really making an 8-8. I don't know. It's this little funny detail. I think those are cute when that happens. Oh, and look, oh, that's so cool. I actually never noticed this, like lotus sort of thing. What is this, a flower, a lotus, something? Not lotus, I don't know, some kind of flower or something. It's actually matching up the little symbol. Whoa, it's nice. So anyway, what does that look like for you when you trust the process and start manifesting your full potential? You're going to work. You're going to do some work, the 8 of Pentacles, and you're going to get like a lot of inspired a lot of inspiration, a lot of inspired action will just start pouring out of you naturally. Like you just whatever it is that is your full potential, like you're gonna get the inspiration. It's like a lightning bolt comes crashing in on you. It's just like you're just energized. You're just flowing. It's just the juice. You got the juice. Yeah, and you're going to do this. You're going to also take the action. So that's the other thing. It's not just like having inspiration in the abstract. Then what do you do with it? What do you do with it? You have to act on it. You have to do the work. You have to take the steps, right? So it's like getting this inspired action and following the guidance and taking the steps and doing the work. And then you start becoming like a creative, productive machine. Not machine. It's not a mechanical process at all. It's a very living, breathing kind of process. But I'm just trying to like find the correct words to express. Like there's just a massive amount of productivity and creativity potentially if you're in a creative field, but you don't necessarily have to be. Maybe your potential is not about necessarily like creation, but just like incredible amount of productivity. That's, I guess, the best way I would say it. A prolific amount of productivity, and you just like, sort of like you start just trusting the process and trusting like what you're guided to be doing. Because when you're really tapped in with your true potential here, it is like this electricity like flowing through you, this like vitality, this life force energy flowing through you, and you know what your potential is. You become very confident in it, and you are able to just know what the next steps are kind of naturally, and you just like have the energy to do them, and it's amazing. And then here you have possibilities, and then you just start seeing with this eagle flying here over the landscape, you start having a higher vision for yourself, for your life, for your potential here. You start having that higher vision of like what is I guess what is the best way or the best route to like manifesting your full potential here. Excuse me. And you have it clarified with this Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is kind of about like discernment, like sharp discernment, and cutting out all the things that are not serving that higher vision of like what are all the possibilities for you. What is if your full potential, or if you were to manifest your full potential right now, and all the possibilities entailed within all this matrix of life force energy here. If you were to liberate this life force energy, allow it to flow through you, do the work to manifest it in the reality, and you have this higher vision of like how that will all look. This will just sort of come to you naturally, this higher vision. And then it's like anything that's not in alignment with that, anything that's distracting you or limiting you, or the people who are trying to, naysay you and hold you back and all of that, it's like you just cut that shit out. That shit out. You have no tolerance for that bullshit because you're on a mission. You're on a mission at this point. You're trusting the process, okay? Um, yeah, you just cut that shit out. That's the Queen of Wands energy right there. Yep. And then what? Is there a piece of advice here for this reading? Let's take one more line of cards. What is the advice? What's the final advice here? What's the final advice? We can do one more card. Oh, I got this one here. success. Well, this one also fell, but participation and success. I guess I'll take both of them. Can we squeeze them in here? Now, the success is really relevant because it is the same card here. 6 of Wands, 6 of Wands. So you got double 6 of Wands. This is like saying like you will be successful in your endeavors. These endeavors here with the work, the inspired action, it will lead to success and actually also to collaboration at some point as well. You maybe start to become magnetic for some collaboration. But hold on, I want to pull a clarifying card for these as well still. So what do we have? Success. Let's clarify success. Okay, we got the King of Wands, King and Queen of Wands right there next to each other. That's pretty nice. Interesting. And then I guess we'll pull another card also for the participation. I wasn't really expecting that. I'm getting really tight on space in the corner there, but it is what it is. Clarify the participation card. So this is, I guess, this is supposed to be advice for you. So wait, all right, hold on. I'll keep that in mind. What is the participation card? Oh, all right. And the world. Okay. I guess the advice would be, well, the world normally talks about like closing of a cycle or ending of a cycle, but I'm getting a different kind of message in this context. So especially if I'm thinking like, what is the advice for you? So the participation here would actually kind of be like, keep your mind open for like different types of collaborative opportunities. Because like there's like a whole world of like potential out there for you, and it might start to come in interesting like new ways that you might not have even like considered before, or like if you keep an open mind, you might start to there might start to be some opportunities to like work with the world, or like the like people you might not have even considered collaborating, types of people, or things collaborations you might not have even like considered possible before. Oh, and the world, like, oh, okay, the world card, but then look at this tiger, he's like on top of the world here. That's interesting. So the tiger of success kind of, well, normally what this card means is it's saying like, oh, so remember, also keep in mind, I guess another piece of advice, keep in mind that like everything in life still moves in waves. So there's like ups and downs and ups and downs. So even when you're on top of the world and you're riding high and you're like feeling like really successful, it's like also sort of don't cling on to those moments either. Don't try and hold on to them forever. Like certainly in the moment when you're like really like successful, you certainly should celebrate yourself. Like you see all this confetti and he's like happy and joyful celebrating. Certainly it's like great to celebrate your successes and your victories, but also like don't try and cling on to them, because life is still going to have vicissitudes to it. There's going to be ups and downs and ups and downs. And even when you're like really fully living in your potential and you're like trusting the process and you're like manifesting all these possibilities and stuff, there's still going to come at some point like challenges and obstacles and more difficult things to face. And I guess that's the King of Wands here. Or Wands, when I say Wands, King of Swords here. Because like if you look, he is, I don't want to, can't even pick up this card. I guess so if he's It's a kind of, he's boldly sort of facing this like landscape. It's a bit like Rocky. There's like rocks and stuff here, and there's like gray clouds and a lightning storm and all this. Um, so he's like boldly willing to like walk into those challenges as well. So it's like even when things get more challenging, or like you're on the low end of the success, or like things like this, it's like, you know, just kind of navigate that part with well, I wanted to say grace, so I guess I'll say that word as well. So navigate it with grace, but yeah, and then the King of Wands is typically also like a balanced mind, I guess. So equanimity of mind, like keeping your mind balanced, like an understanding that that is sort of the nature of reality, that there are going to be ups and downs along the journey, even when you're like really like fully living your potential here. That's not going to necessarily make, you know, challenges and obstacles stop coming at you, like, you know what I mean? But it's like that you, if you keep the right mindset here, keep your mind like stable and balanced, which would be the king, and especially a pentacle, or now I said pentacles, Jesus, what, the king of swords. The king of swords and the queen of swords here. So yeah, it's keeping that stable and balanced mind, keeping equanimity of mind, so that you don't, yeah, you don't fall off here, you know, anyway. And then, yeah, keeping yourself open for a lot of potential collaborations as well. All right, so I'm going to wrap up the message here. If you liked the video and you felt like it was interesting or helpful for you, please click the like button. Feel free to comment down below if you have something to say, or it's like reading your comments. If you would like to join my community, please click the subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I love you. Thanks for visiting me. And yeah, I will see you again some other time. Bye.